because your brain thinks bedtime is the perfect time to plan your entire future, rewrite your past, and also remember that you need vinegar from the store. What's up, you beautiful beasts? In this video, we're talking about the weirdest, most annoying thing that your brain does at night. Intrusive thoughts. You know, those unwanted mental pop-ups that show up at 1:47 a.m. like, hey bestie, remember that mildly awkward thing you said in 2011? Let's watch it in 4K. If you have ever laid in bed, exhausted, begging your brain to shut up, and your brain responds by launching the Cringe Greatest Hits Tour, this video is for you. And before we go any further, I want you to hear me clearly. Having intrusive thoughts does not make you broken, dangerous, or secretly a bad person. Intrusive thoughts are, by definition, unwanted. They can be random, repetitive, and sometimes disturbing, which is exactly why they feel so upsetting. Your brain is basically tossing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. And, unfortunately, it picked the one noodle that you hate. So let's talk about why sleep matters here, because this is one of the coolest rest the beast facts that doesn't get enough attention. Let's get into it.
Disclaimer. This content is not medical advice. If you're dealing with chronic fatigue, insomnia, or sleep issues that feel deeper than habit or stress, please talk to a provider who gets it. You deserve real support. This space is here to remind you, sleep isn't a luxury. It's your body's built-in healing system. I'm an NASM certified personal trainer, certified nutritionist, and master neurotransformational results coach, and I'm always learning right alongside you. What you'll find here is meant to spark reflection, offer insight, and help you reclaim rest on your terms. You don't have to earn your rest. You deserve it, just as you are right now.
Intrusive thoughts explained. So here's the big idea. Sleep helps restore your brain's ability to hit mute on unwanted thoughts. When you're well rested, you have more access to your brain's control system. That includes parts of the brain that help you redirect attention, regulate emotion, and shut down the unwanted mental replay. When you're sleep deprived, that control system gets underpowered. You still have thoughts, obviously, but it becomes harder to stop the ones that you don't want from barging in like they pay rent. The science. Think, no think studies. Now, let me nerd out for a second because the research on this is genuinely fascinating. There's a classic research setup called the think/no-think task. Basically, researchers teach people to associate certain cues with certain images or memories. Then later, they show the cue and tell the participants either think and bring the memory to mind, or no think and actively keep it out. It's kind of like a lab version of real life. Stop thinking about that thing. Stop thinking about it. Stop thinking about it. And your brain is like, oh yeah? Watch this. In a 2020 study, researchers found that after sleep deprivation, people were worse at suppressing those unwanted intrusions. The sleep-deprived group reported more intrusions and also had more relapses, meaning they might successfully block it once, then it pops back in again on the next round. That's a really important point for real life. Sleep loss doesn't just increase intrusive thoughts, it can make the thoughts harder to keep out once they start showing up. Then more recently, a 2025 paper looked even deeper at the brain mechanisms. They found that sleep deprivation disrupted prefrontal inhibition of memory retrieval, basically that control system having a harder time doing its job. And they also reported that overnight restoration of that inhibitory mechanism was associated with the time spent in REM sleep. In human words, REM sleep might be part of how your brain recharges its ability to keep unwanted memories and thoughts from intruding. So if you've ever felt like, why can't I control my mind when I'm tired? It's not a moral failing, it's neurobiology. Your brain is running on low battery and the spam filter stops working. REM sleep and intrusive memories. Now let's talk about REM sleep for a second, because REM is the dramatic, emotional story writing phase of sleep. REM is when dreams can get wild, emotions can get processed in strange ways, and your brain seems to do some behind-the-scenes emotional filing. There's also research using what's called an analog trauma paradigm, where people watch a distressing film and then track intrusive memories afterward. A 2024 study found that greater REM sleep percentage and REM efficiency across several nights before that exposure was associated with fewer intrusive memories in the days after. The authors suggest that REM sleep might be protective in that sense. Now, quick nuance check, because we are not doing internet oversimplification today. Intrusive thoughts can show up for lots of reasons. Stress, anxiety, trauma history, OCD, big life transitions, Hormonal shifts, grief, parenting, shift work, being overstimulated and undersupported. Sometimes it's just a tired brain being a tired brain. Sleep is not the only factor, and I never want anyone to hear this as, if you just slept better, you'd be fine. No. But sleep is a huge lever that we can pull, and it's a lever that people often ignore because it's not flashy. What to do tonight when your brain spirals? So what does this mean for you tonight when you're in bed and your brain starts acting like it's auditioning for a psychological thriller? First, let's name what's happening. When you are exhausted, your brain has less capacity for mental inhibition. That means the goal is not, I must force the thoughts to disappear. The goal is, I'm gonna change how I respond to the thought, because fighting it like it's a monster under the bed can accidentally make it feel more important. Here's a line that you can steal. That's an intrusive thought, not a prophecy, not a personality trait, just brain noise. Try saying it out loud if you need to. Your brain might still throw the thought at you, but you don't have to pick it up and carry it around the house. Second, give your brain a place to put the thought before your head hits the pillow. I love a simple 2-minute brain dump. Grab paper, notes app, whatever, right? Things my brain wants to yell about right now. And then write it. All of it. Even the petty stuff, especially the petty stuff. When you get it out of your head and onto something external, your brain chills out because it feels heard. If you want to level it up, add one more line. Not solving tonight, just parking. Because your brain thinks bedtime is the perfect time to plan your entire future, rewrite your past, and also remember that you need vinegar from the store. Third, stop negotiating with intrusive thoughts like they're reasonable. They're not. Intrusive thoughts are not a courtroom argument. You don't have to debate them. You don't have to prove them wrong. You don't have to figure them out. The more you wrestle, the more airtime you give them. Try a redirect phase. Thanks, brain. Not now. Boring. Neutral, no drama, but you're basically training your brain that this thought does not get a spotlight. Fourth, support REM sleep and overall sleep quality in the unsexy ways that actually work. Keep a consistent sleep and wake time as often as you can. Your nervous system loves rhythm. Get morning light in your eyes early in the day if possible. Even a few minutes outside helps anchor your body clock. Watch caffeine timing. Not because caffeine is evil, but because caffeine has receipts and will show up at bedtime like, you called? If alcohol is part of your life, just know that it can reduce REM sleep and fragment sleep even if you fall asleep faster. So if intrusive nights keep happening, that can be a helpful experiment to run on. Now let's do a let's get real moment, because I know that some of you are like, Katie, my sleep is chaos. I have kids, I do shift work, I have anxiety, and I'm doing my best. I see you. And I'm not here to hand you a perfect routine and then shame you when life lifes. If you can't control the length of your sleep right now, focus on the quality of the wind down. Even 10 minutes matters. A shorter closing shift for your brain. Dim the lights, fewer notifications, a consistent cue that says, we are safe, we are done for today. And if your intrusive thoughts are frequent, distressing, or getting scary, or if you're dealing with trauma symptoms, please hear me. You deserve real support. Talking with a licensed mental health care professional can be life-changing, especially someone who's trained in things like insomnia, OCD treatment, or trauma-informed therapy. Sleep support and mental health support are not either or. They work together. Landing the plane. Okay, comment time, because I want to know that I'm not alone in this universe, which I already know that, but that's okay. What is your brain's favorite time to start the Intrusive Thoughts tour? Like, is it 10:30 p.m. polite or 3:12 a.m. unhinged? And what actually helps you the most when your mind is loud? A fan, a meditation, a brain dump, audiobook, white noise, prayer, breathing? Tell me. Your comment might help another beautiful beast feel less alone tonight. And if you want a simple tool right now, I have a guided sleep meditation that you can use as a nervous system switch off. I'll put it right here. Or here. I never know where it goes. Sleep is not just rest. Sleep is brain maintenance. Sleep is emotional regulation. Sleep is your mind's spam filter getting repaired. Sleep is the first step in unveiling the beautiful beast within you.